Wow. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The top 10 most overrated movies of 2019. Now, just because we use the phrase overrated does not mean that the film was not good. I want to repeat that one more time for those who might not get it. Just because we say a film is overrated does not mean it was not good. Okay? Now, this will probably go a lot faster than the others. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is number 10 on the list. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is Quentin Tarantino's look into Hollywood back in the old days of the 60s. And well, it was shot well, it was kind of long, but it wasn't some of his best work. And I think the critics, overly kissed butt on this film and made it something that it shouldn't have been. Now they're talking about Oscar nominations for Quentin Tarantino. That's just ridiculous. Not for this. Definitely, I don't see any Oscar performances in this film. But hey, that's just me. You know, it's all a popularity contest nowadays, anyhow. At number 9, we have Jojo Rabbit. Jojo Rabbit is a funny comedy looking back at the war with Hitler and what was happening over there in Germany. And from the little kid's perspective, it was funny, it was heartwarming, but grossly overrated. I think it hit a point where it just got dull for a little bit. Then it picked back up, but it was just overall just way overrated by the critics. This is one of the greatest movies you should go see. I'm like, are you nuts? I mean, it's good for maybe one or two watches, but for that many times, no way. Number 8 is a new one on the list. Atlantics. I'm like, what is this? Atlantics. So as I'm sitting back and people are like, you have got to watch Atlantics. Are you telling me you have not seen Atlantics? I'm like, no, I didn't see Atlantics. Don't come back until you've seen Atlantics. It is a beautiful romantic film. I said, well, let me go check this out. So I go watch this movie where everyone's talking about. Come to find out, it came out in November. And it was on Netflix, so it fit right in. And it's a bunch of people, some co-worker, construction worker, whatever. And she had been promised to another guy, and his co-worker disappeared in the waters. And I'm watching this thing, and when you see some co-workers coming in arguing about some money and all this other stuff, and I'm like, which story am I supposed to be following here? It's like 2, 3 stories kicking off here, and I'm not interested in anything except for what's going down with, hey, y'all better give them dudes their money. That's all I'm thinking. Pay them their money. Grossly, grossly overrated. I've seen way better marriage stories, way better than this. But, hey, the Atlantics make the list. Number 7, Midsommar. Midsommar is this horror movie made by the people that made the other horror movie that's just gross. And this is nothing but The Wicker Man all over again. And people, this is the most creepiest movie yet. And I admit it has some great shots and everything in it, but that's just, imagery, but the promotion of this thing, man, they really went over the top talking about this thing. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. But okay, I'm game. But to me, it just was just a little extreme. At number 6, we have Judy. Judy comes in at number 6 with the story of Judy Garland. Renee Zellweger played a great portrayal of Judy. This film is just really not as good as people thought it was going to be, and definitely was overrated. Um, I thought the film was a little flat, and it was just going through certain events. Uh, her sold out shows and all the things. I don't think they touched on, what really was going on there. I think they could have done a little bit better with it, but it's grossly overrated. Grossly overrated. I'm like, it's a good movie, but it's not. No, it's not good. I mean, it's not. No, it's grossly overrated, people. And all this Oscar nomination for, I'm like, Rupert Gold directed this. So whatever Rupert Gold directed, oh man, this Rupert Gold directed this movie, Judy Garland. She's outstanding in this film. This is Judy Garland's story. I was like, Renee Zellweger did a great job. And in certain scenes, she kind of reminded me of Judy Garland a little bit. Certain scenes. And this was supposed to be Renee Zellweger's comeback movie. It's I think they touched on as much as they could, but overall, no. Number 5, extremely wicked, evil, whatever, and vile, whatever. This overrated movie that came out, did they come on Netflix or something? I think I seen that on Netflix. I don't think I seen that at the movie. This is the Teddy Bundy murder movie where they go through the events of his murder. One, this film wasn't that good. I mean, it was a good performance, probably one of the best from Zac Efron. And basically, it's wow, this is crazy. Looking at something that just blew my mind. Sorry about that. But yeah, it goes through the events of Teddy Bundy's life, the trial and everything he went through. And Zac Efron did the best he could with what he had. And it's just a choppy movie, man. Gosh, the editing was like somebody did it with a hacksaw. I don't know if this was their goal or it just wasn't. It wasn't really a good movie, but was grossly overrated when it was coming out. Number 4, The Irishman. Oh, baby, The Irishman got all of this promotion, and The Irishman with Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and this is a very good movie. But it is not what they are promoting to you. This is Swayze's best, some of his best work. Look at all the people in it. This movie needed editing and so many different levels. It's like 3 hours long, 3.5 hours long, and once you watch it once, you have no inspiration to ever watch it again. That is not what I would call a movie that is, man, we gotta see The Irishman. Not at all, sir. Not at all. At number 3, we have Ad Astra with Brad Pitt. To me, I'm going to say something here that many of you may not agree with or might be shocked that you've never heard before, but Brad Pitt is the most overrated actor in Hollywood history to have accomplished everything he does. He acts almost as if he's a male model. Wait a minute, he was a male model, wasn't he? Yeah, okay, well, damn. He plays and acts the same way in almost every film. It was only when he did Snatch that I said, whoa, who is this guy? Other than that, he's been the same character in every movie he was, and his character is so bland. Even when he was in the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. His acting to me is not, it's basic at best. I don't see any empathy. I don't buy any of his relationship movies, those sappy ones. You don't buy that he gives a damn. And Ad Astra, man, did they just make a movie basically they could just call this Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt in space. It's a better name than Ad Astra. A guy with no emotions is chosen because he has lack of emotion and able to stay calm in every situation, no matter how critical they are. They're going to send him to space to try to see if his daddy is still alive, who was an astronaut who was lost in space and presumed dead on the planet. This movie is unrealistic and definitely ridiculous at certain parts, and it's boring. So at number 3, we have Ad Astra. Now, at number 2, we have a film that many of you probably haven't seen, and that's a good thing. Rocket Man. Rocket Man, the Elton John story. Oh my God, they're talking about all these Oscar performances. I was never more bored and mortified than watching this garbage on screen. I did not like Rocket Man. I thought Rocket Man was done completely wrong. They marketed this as the movie Queen movie that came out about Freddie Mercury's life. I'm like, okay. This is Freddie Mercury's life, and this is what's going on. So they marketed this movie to perfection. This is Freddie Mercury. This is his life. This is what goes on. I didn't want to hear all that. This is the same thing. This is the sequel. This is Elton John's life. They could have kept this on the shelf. They made this a musical when it didn't really need to be. drained me of my time, my energy, and my youth. Watching Rocket Man. Definitely grossly overrated at number 2. The number 1 most overrated film of 2019 undoubtedly is Booksmart. Oh my God. They sold this movie as the female version of Superbad. And it was just super bad. This movie jokes did not land. The over gay humor was not even appreciated here. Everything was just over the top for no reason. It was mm-mm-mm. It was bad. It was just flat out bad. This is a movie I think I walked out in. It's not too many movies I walked out in. This was one of them. It did have some scenes in it that were funny. I wouldn't give it that bad of a rating. Maybe 1.5 stars at that, but this is grossly. Olivia Wilde and her directorial debut. Fellas, this was not super bad. Now, a lot of people are going to say about honorable mentions. There are plenty of people that could pick movies and say, oh, this one was overrated, that one was overrated, or this is that, and it's you can do this all day long. I just really truly believe that movies are subjective. You want to do an honorable mention? El Camino was kind of overrated at times. I just liked it too much because I got it. Other people will feel it probably was overrated. Murder Mystery with Adam Sandler, people would think it's overrated. So it's a lot of movies out there that could have made this list. I heard somebody tell me Spider-Man was overrated and Avengers was overrated. So, it's just the way you look at it. Uh, After this, I'll do the underrated movies of 2019. So we're not done yet. We're almost there. The underrateds are coming next. So thank you for your time, and don't forget to subscribe to Screen Fiend. I'm out. Deuces.